welcome back, Romantic Home family. I am Olivia, Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I am so excited to share with you guys some DIY budget-friendly romantic fall decor crafts. So we're going to take a quick pause on our Christmas in July series because I am so excited to do a little bit of fall crafting, and if you guys are getting a jump start on fall crafting, these are going to be some ideas for you. Now don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. It helps me out so much. I am a full-time content creator, and follow me on all my socials. Now I'm going to be announcing the winner of our $100 Hobby Lobby gift card giveaway on my community tab on my YouTube page this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And also I want to let you guys know that I am going to be having a fresh brand new giveaway next week. Super excited for that. So you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Try this. Grab a Dollar Tree pool noodle. I split mine in half, and you can tell I'm repurposing and reusing this, but we're going to create a beautiful fall garland, and I'm actually starting out with some summery greenery as my base. Really pretty much any greenery will do. I'm securing the greenery on with some zip ties. This is kind of like a floating greenery, I would say. It's just kind of like leafy, I guess, but once you have some greenery attached, you could use evergreen, whatever greenery you have in your craft stash, you guys grab it. Then I'm taking some fall leaves, and all of these supplies are from Hobby Lobby. I cut the fall leaves apart, and I'm simply hot gluing them and just sticking them into that pool noodle. So also I would let you guys know, using a full pool noodle is just fine. I'm reusing this pool noodle from last season, and I had already split it in half, so I am just rolling with it. But I really do like the fullness of using the full pool noodle. Anyway, keep going, add in some picks. I used some of those copper picks, and then also some of those longer, they look kind of like wheat picks. A lot of these similar picks you guys can find at Dollar Tree as well. So just whatever budget you have and whatever you have in your craft stash. Now, cool hack here, I'm taking one of those greenery pieces and stabbing it into the bottom of my pumpkin, and then hot gluing that into the pool noodle, and that's going to give you guys the ability to kind of stack some pumpkins in there. So I'm using an orange pumpkin, which is faded by the sun. Honestly, it was originally a really orange pumpkin from Walmart, and I'm using all styrofoam pumpkins, and that really helps as well. But I went ahead and attached everything in with a little bit of hot glue, and then I'm taking leaves to kind of secure those pumpkins in, so it gives it more fall goodness, but we're also securing them in. Now you guys can see I added in a pink pumpkin. Why not? I have quite a bit of pink in my decor, so we're just gonna go ahead and roll with it. I think pink and mauve and purples look really beautiful with fall colors. If you guys ever notice and look really closely at your fall ribbon, you're probably gonna find some mauves and purples in that ribbon. Anyway, I'm adding in some beautiful kind of mauvey pink, like pale pink, little florals over here. Again, these are those same wedding florals I've been repurposing and reusing for a couple of years now. I just pull them apart and use them in a different decor idea. I'm also adding in some greenery just to give those leaves some dimension. I love fall leaves, but they can kind of get a little heavy for me, so I do like to add in greenery as a base. Let me know what you guys think, and how do you guys like to pile on tons of fall leaves, or do you like it to be a little bit more broken up? I'm doing this more honestly like a cottage garden centerpiece, mainly because I think with florals, you want to make them look like they're naturally in their real habitat, I guess. So if we were out in the woods, we would see green and we would see fall leaves together. That's the way it is in my yard anyway. I'm also adding in some beautiful roses and some pretty, just kind of pale pink and white hydrangeas. I'm just really working with this beautiful, elegant color palette, and I wanted to show you guys a twist on using your traditional fall decor, but also showing that you can get a little creative with some of your colors. Now, it's totally fine to use all traditional fall decor or all decor whatever colors you love. You could do this all white, you could do this all oranges, you could do oranges and reds. Whatever color palette you love, simply change out my idea to suit your palette. Now, I decided I wanted to extend out some of that fall goodness, so I'm adding in another piece of the garland. So this was a garland that I had bought at Hobby Lobby, and I just kind of chunked it apart. And then of course I had these, pretty flowers left over from spring decorating, believe it or not. So you can really get creative with what you're using. Bring all the bring all of them out and then see what works together. I added in some more of those little copper pieces. I think copper is a really nice touch for fall. And you're going to see me later on in this video decorate with some beautiful copper pumpkins. Now, I got a little wild and used some more summer florals, and these are purple. What do you guys think about adding in these purples? At first I wasn't for sure, but then once I started rolling with it, I really got excited. I thought it gave it so much more dimension and depth. And also because I'm setting this out a little bit early. I mean, it's only kind of, early mid-July. I thought, I think I would like to keep it kind of light and summery feeling still. And so you could always, change out the lighter florals and add in some of your deeper reds as we get closer to, full fall and Christmas. So that's just an idea for you guys. Again, use whatever colors you love, but I love this palette together. So we're using oranges and pinks and the browns and the khaki colors and purples, and really just, I think they're all melding together because they're all kind of a pastel look. I don't have any real bold colors. And listen, again, there's nothing wrong with bold colors. If you guys love those bold fall colors, which I actually really do, I've done 6 seasons on YouTube of fall bold colors, I guess 5 seasons. So go back and check out some of my previous fall videos. I have huge compilation videos. You guys can really get excited for fall. And I am going to throw in some more Christmas in July before we go full on fall. But I have been getting so inspired to do fall as I see the stores beginning to put it out, and I love it. And I didn't do a lot of 4th of July decorating, so I thought, you know what, we're going to go ahead. I miss all the flowers on my mantle. Now, I'm also using some of these kind of purplish mauve pumpkins. I'm loving this. I think adding in the purple mixes in with the pinks, and it just all is flowing. What do you guys think? I am really, really, really loving this color combination. I really wanted to find a way to sneak some pinks into my fall decor. And again, you guys get creative with it and add in whatever colors you love. So it's really elegant, really simple. I have these big pink planters that we're going to play around with. I'm going to add in those blooming pumpkins to them and also create a bow. But I think this is fun and fabulous and very late summer, early fall decorating. If you guys can't wait, go ahead and dig in there, make a pretty garland, and just stash it back until whenever you feel comfortable setting out your beautiful, elegant fall decor. For this DIY tutorial, I'm going to share with you all how to create a designer blooming pumpkin. So you're going to take a pumpkin. This one's from Hobby Lobby. It's a styrofoam pumpkin, and I simply poked some holes in the top with my scissors. Be careful with that part. Now, for a designer look, you're going to start with a taller flower or berry pick at the very top. Start there, and then you can add in your fall florals. And I am going to give a mix for you guys on the oranges, and I'm going to add in some purples in with those fall colors and leaves. So I want this to have a traditional feel, but also give it that beautiful romantic flair. So I added in some purple roses, some cream colored roses, some fall leaves, but nothing that's super, super bold. I want that orange pumpkin to be the main statement maker, but I am going to mix in some oranges so it makes sense basically. Now I'm adding a little bit of smaller rosebuds cascading off to the side. Here's how everything is looking so far. Again, I want to come in and mix in those oranges, but I don't want it to overtake. This is a late summer, early fall decor piece. It's also a romantic decor decor piece, and I feel like it's somewhat designer inspired. You know, you can also just, throw some fall leaves on top of a pumpkin or florals, and that's fine. But this one, we're giving that big flower in the center. We're adding buds around it. We're mixing it in with some leaves and some raffia and some berries, and kind of cascading it down to the side. So we don't want to totally overtake the pumpkin, although it does get pretty big at the end. And we're getting close to the end, believe it or not. I didn't add a bow because I just really wanted it to feel simple. I wanted it to feel, really, this isn't simple, but more like a cottage fairy garden. Now, we're going to do bows elsewhere, so don't panic if you are like me and you love big bows and you cannot lie. So I'm adding in some pretty raffia and more leaves. Just kind of take a look at your project, see what you feel like it needs, and keep working. So again, we added the big flower in the center, some leaves, some raffia, some berries, and then some of those smaller buds. For the color palette, we're doing more of a pale color palette with some pinks and purples and oranges. I added one to each topiary, and I'm going to share with you guys how I created these topiaries. They're super easy. A little spin because, hey, why not? Feeling a little bit like Cinderella in my fancy dress. I got the top from the thrift store and then the beautiful skirt from Cupshe, and they're like under $30, and they're so magical to have in your closet, especially if you're a girly girl. So here is how everything is looking. I'm going to share with you guys how we do the bow. And these are those planters from Hobby Lobby that I shared with you guys. I painted these that pale pink with a little bit of gold trim at the top. You guys know I've been into that Bridgerton Regency decor. And this is simply easy to do. In the next segment, I'm going to share with you guys how we created the round around the topiary, and then there's that garland that we did. I feel like it's pretty understated. You guys know I love to go really crazy with my garlands, so let me know if it's enough. I meant to turn on my fireplace, but for some reason I cannot find the plug that's supposed to go in it, but we're gonna put on that cozy fireplace even though it's 100 degrees outside. I kicked down the AC to 69, 68 to make it really feel like fall. Plus I get hot when I'm crafting away. Do you guys get hot as well? Anyway, I am loving this color palette, and I feel like it's really, if you're going to decorate early for fall and you want to keep some of those pretty summer colors out, or if you're just a romantic at heart like me, definitely add in some of those pinks and purples. It's really going to make your just heart sparkle and shine. For this segment of the DIY, we're going to take my summer big giant planter that I found at Hobby Lobby and painted pink, and we're going to make it into a fall planter. So I'm taking this large garland, again from Hobby Lobby. I've had it for a couple of seasons, and usually I use it on my mantle, but I decided to wrangle it and use it in this planter, and stay with me, it gets better. I did struggle with it. I pulled out all of the orange flowers that I had added from last year's mantle decor. Again, I use multiple garlands and go super crazy with my fall mantle. So hopefully I'll be able to pull my fall mantle off. I might not go as long on the sides as I normally do anyway, but I'm taking this garland, I'm just wrapping it around the planter, and I want to get it to where it's not hanging over the edge, but it's kind of cascading out, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to get it the right size, and I'm really having to kind of move it around, and it looks a little bit of a hot mess, but stay with me, we're gonna make this happen. Okay, so once I have it mostly wrangled, I'm gonna take a zip tie and just zip tie the ends together because I don't want it popping out. I am going to add a bow and then that beautiful blooming pumpkin that we created. And for the bow, I'm going to take this beautiful ribbon and loop it over on itself. You're going to do that. If you want it to have 2 loops on each side, you're going to do it 4 times, or you're going to do it 6 times if you want 3 loops. I wanted to go big or go home, so I decided to do 6 loops, and once I have that done, I'm going to pinch it off in the center and then add a zip tie to it. And I do get a little bit of a serious face while I'm making this bow, but I promise you, I'm just deep in thought, making sure I make this correctly and there's the right loops. So here's how that looks so far. I think the bow looks gorgeous, but I am a multi-layered bow. I love big bows, and I cannot lie. So I'm going to take the pink ribbon. This is some of that pink discount ribbon that I found at Hobby Lobby. It was like 99 cents for the roll. It's a little bit floppy, so it does not stand up like my beautiful David Christopher's ribbon, but it's going to have to do because it's velvet. It's going to go in with this fall decor, and it's all I have. So I'm going to take it and layer it with the brown, the pink on top of the brown, and then I'm going to layer another layer with some smaller ribbon. This is about a 2.5 inch, and I'm going to go down to about a 1.5 inch. This is some Hobby Lobby ribbon. I remember earlier in the video when I was telling you that a lot of fall decor has maroons and pinks already in it. If you take a close look at this ribbon, it has a beautiful purple maroon stripe through it. And I was surprised and excited to see that. And it makes sense why the pinks and maroons go so well with the oranges in fall. So please don't be afraid to step out of the box, take your regular traditional fall decor, and if you so please, add in some purples or some maroons or some mauves, if you so please. Nothing wrong with being an old-fashioned fall lover with all the traditional colors, and I really am. I really love all the traditional fall colors, but I wanted to find a way to create some romance. So that's what I'm doing here. So now I'm just taking some tails and I'm going to zip tie those to the center of my ribbon loops. This is such an easy bow to do, you guys. I promise you can totally do this. There's no tools required. You just simply make those loops on your ribbons. Choose whatever ribbons you love. And as I layer my ribbons, I try to make the loops a little bit smaller as I go out from the bow. Then take a zip tie and tie that off in the center. And you guys can probably notice that as I make my bow, I'm kind of arranging things and fluffing, and I could probably sit there and fluff my bow all day. Like, I'm looking at it now thinking, oh, that's definitely needs to be fluffed here, it needs to be fluffed there. But get it on there and keep working with it, and you're going to fluff it multiple times even after you set up your display. So I'm zip tying the entire thing now to the garland. And I will tell you that this planter is really, really large. If you don't have one like this, that's totally fine. You guys can really use this idea on any planter that you have, or you don't even have to use it on a planter. You could, use it on a table centerpiece, just whatever suits your fancy. But anyway, I think it's coming along nicely, and I would love to hear your feedback on, do you think that these purples and these maroons and pinks mix well? I really am a believer now that I've tried it like this. I've done pink fall before, but I've never mixed the pinks and the traditional because I have so much traditional fall that I do not want to just toss it out. So I thought, well, we're going to make it work. So here's how we're going to set up my display. I have my 2 planters on either side, and then I'm going to add in both of my blooming pumpkins. I have those beautiful lighted pumpkins that me and my friend Caleb went shopping for last season, my little designer buddy. And then I'm going to add this beautiful Cinderella pumpkin that's also a lit up pumpkin. I found that at Goodwill. And then I found this a couple of years ago at Home Goods. I love it. I haven't been able to use it because I haven't really been using any of the pinks and mauves, but we are going back to my shabby chic romantic roots. So inspired by the latest Regency decor, and also by getting my heart closer to God and really just kind of healing some things that I have been through in the last couple of years. Here is the final look. I am over the moon in love with this. If you go to your YouTube channel and type in Cinderella, you can find a really beautiful playlist of piano Cinderella songs, which is what I have on my TV. Here's a little bit of a close-up look of all of it. I also like to type in fall screensavers. Those are lovely as well.
So here is my kitty cat, Tinky. She doesn't get in a lot of the videos because she's actually an outside kitty. She always has lived outside, but she likes to come in and eat and drink inside the house. She's drinking her bougie water out of a teacup, and it's just regular water, but I just thought that was super cute. And this is first thing in the morning when I'm just sitting down having my coffee. And this is from my couch looking out. I have the door open because Benji Bear, my little terrier, he likes to run in and out, and so does Tinky, honestly. They're both kind of have a lot of energy in the morning, especially Benji Bear. He's really loud and he can be a little bit much sometimes, but he keeps an eye on Tinky because when it's time for her to go out, he definitely lets me know. And then, of course, here's Benji Bear on his perch. He sits right behind me while I drink my coffee, do my Bible study, and get my Facebook post ready. And then I have a little surprise for you guys. So many of you all have been asking me for my thrift store outfits of the day, which I used to do back originally in my videos. So here's to you guys.
Okay friends, so here is my thrift store outfit of the day. I found this beautiful romantic top while thrifting with my daughter at Goodwill. I did have to put a cami underneath it, but I feel like it has like this kind of doily detail around the top. Of course, it is my favorite pale pink with the white accent, and then it also has just the little flowy doily at the bottom. I paired it with just these flare leg jeans. I don't usually find jeans at the thrift store, so these are not from the thrift store, but my shoes are, and these are just some cute little kind of kitten heels, I guess. They're just a low heel. They've seen better days, but they're nude, so I thought it'd be super cute. And then if I was wearing this in the winter, of course I would pair it with boots. And then I have my faux glimmer diamond earrings. These are just a clip-on kind of vintage costume jewelry. So there you guys have it. I know a lot of you all have been asking for my thrift store outfits of the day, and I'm feeling pretty romantic and fabulous, and I hope you guys are enjoying this and are totally inspired. Love y'all. So thank you all so much for joining me. on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. It's a true blessing and honor to have you all here. For everybody that has just popped on this video and you're new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I'm a DIY crafty mama. This is my 6th season on YouTube, and I'm a full-time content creator. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me out so much, and follow me on all my socials. I am going to be hosting giveaways as we look into the holiday season. So look forward to next week's new giveaway announcement. It's a super special one, so I'm super excited for it. And for all of my long-term subscribers that come back and watch and love on me, thank you all so much. Now, recently I shared a devotional with you all, so I'm going to share another one. This is a devotional I got at the thrift store, and my puppy dogs have chewed out the corner, but this is the second devotional I'm sharing with you guys. Go back and watch the last episode where I shared with you guys a devotional about acceptance. It helps me get through my day reading these, so I hope this helps you guys. This one is called Aging, which we are all doing, definitely including myself, and it is titled The Pilgrim Road. Let's be honest, old age entails suffering. I'm acutely aware of this now as I watch my mother, once so alive and alert and quick, now so quiet and confused and slow. And we see the preview of coming attractions ourselves in her shoes, and ponder what this interval means in terms of the glory of God in an old woman. It would be terrifying if it weren't for something that ought to make the Christian's attitude toward aging utterly distinct from the rest. And we know it's not for nothing. See Ephesians 1:9-10. In the meantime, we look at what's happening. Limitations of hearing, seeing, moving, digesting, remembering, distortions of countenance, figure, and perspective. It's all that we could see, and we'd certainly want a facelift or something. But we're on a pilgrim's road, and it's rough and steep, and its winds are uphill to the very end, and we can lift up our eyes and see the unseen, a celestial city, a light, a welcome, and an ineffable face. We should behold him, and we should be like him, and that makes a difference on how we go about aging. I love that, and that's by Elizabeth Elliot, which it's almost tough for me to see without my glasses. So I love this about aging. I'm definitely going through that transition of life, so I hope this encourages you guys. There's a couple of scripture related to aging that I'm going to leave you guys with, and the first one is, he asked you for life, and you gave it to him, length of days, forever and ever. And that's Psalm 21:4. Keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you prosperity, says the Lord. And that's Proverbs 3:1-10. The glory of young men is their strength, gray hair, the splendor of the old, which definitely I think I have some splendor going on with that gray hair. That's Proverbs 20:29. And long life to you, good health to you and your household, and good health to all that is yours. And that's 1 Samuel 25:6. So I had an overwhelming response in my last video on the devotional that I read, and this is just more of God's word for life. It's a women's devotional specifically. So I hope that blesses you guys, and it just makes you feel better. And then the next one that I'm going to read for next video is on beauty. So that's going to be a good one as well. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to wish you a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed weekend, no matter what you're going through. Remember, if you have woken up and you're watching this video, God's given you a new day and a new chance. So I hope you guys seize the day and continue to put one foot in front of the other, no matter what you're going through. Trust me, being on YouTube for 6 seasons, I've definitely experienced some highs and lows. So I am there with you. I love y'all. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. If you need prayers, drop those prayer requests down below. And if you guys have a favorite fall food, drop those down below, and even include a recipe if you guys like. So until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye. Love you.